successful woman in the world goes and sees a counselor every week.
Yep.
Like, what's the harm in going seeing a counselor? And
Not at all.
I don't think there's anything wrong.
I think that it's becoming, like, we live in a time now where I feel like mental health is less taboo than it's ever sort of been.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a great thing. When people start talking and not being afraid to discuss medications they're on, or depression they're going through, or addiction they're going through, that's the way that we can really help one another, and that's what we're fucking here for. I mean, it's all about love. It's not about, oh, that guy's fucked because he's on these meds. I mean, everybody... I believe that everybody's going to face depression at one point or another in their life, whether it's external circumstances or internal, whatever. But none of us are immune to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, like, it doesn't discriminate, right?
No, not at all.
I learned that especially with addiction, that, like, your lawyer could be an addict.
Yeah.
Your teacher could be an addict, right? It's not that guy living under the bridge with a brown paper bag.
Right.
Like, it's anyone, and it's all walks of life. And
some people just hide it better and have more money to do it.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I ran out of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then that's when I turned to crime, and that's, you know, when you get shady morals and shit like that.
Sure.
So, I mean, getting sober, it was a struggle to start getting sober, and I learned that really early that I had a story to share with people, and that I was okay with sharing that. So I got asked really early in my sobriety to start sharing my story, and
good.
Since then, since 2014, I've spoken for over 100,000 people since then, and I just keep sharing my story because I know that it empowers people. I spoke at a recovery breakfast with Sean McCann from Great Big Sea.
Very cool.
And he never disclosed that he was sexually abused, and I just got up there and shared my story, like I just did here.
Yep.
And he kind of threw away his notes, like he was just going to sing some songs and talk about that he's in recovery from alcohol. And he just got up there and disclosed his sexual abuse for the first time ever.
Wow. So your story inspired a singer from Great Big Sea.
And
that's fucking awesome,
And
man.
I'm like, from Halifax. Yeah. I listen to these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, no way. And now me and Sean have an awesome friendship. Like, we talk all the time.
Very cool.
Anytime he comes to London, he makes sure that we get together. And I think, like, it's not about me anymore.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's about the power that everyone's story has.
Yes.
Like, and everyone's story is impactful, and it doesn't have to be so terrible, and it doesn't have to be great.
Right.
You just got to have a story, and everyone's got a story.
Everybody's got a story. I agree, man, and that's what this is all about, right? It's kind of like storytelling in a way. But at the end of the day, we obviously want the message. We hope the message is positive. It might not be all the time.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to inspire those people that maybe aren't strong enough.
Yeah.
Or, or at least entertain on the Sunday nights when we do the sex show. Entertain people people that are feeling sad, make them a little happy.
Yeah.
But I think that everything that you've gone through is amazing. So let's talk about where you are now. Like, who have you been talking to lately? I mean, what's your trend here? Are you talking to high schools? Are you talking to, like, who do you go and talk to normally?
I'll talk to anyone.
You'll talk to anyone?
Yeah, I'll talk to anyone. I have some speaking engagements coming up at King's College. And it's a thing called jack.org.
Cool.
And then the adulting journey, and it's just kind of about resilience in your adulthood. And I don't really know if I have a good enough story for, like, school age kids, like elementary school, because I'm pretty raw when I talk about this stuff. And I think that someone maybe a little more sensitive should talk to school age kids. But I've talked to a lot of high schools, college age kids. I do a lot of community events and stuff like that. And so this Facebook thing has started, and it's like started with those 6 guys, and we have 6,100 people.
Great now, on 1 in 5.
Yeah, from all over the world, right? And
very cool.
I get to see, like, the back door of it, like see where everyone's from, and we've reached like 6 continents around the world, and like, I think that's empowering, that we've been able to at least share with people that it's okay to share their story,
right?
Like, it's up to them, right? And I can give them all the tools, but they gotta find that courage inside them. And I have always thought that courage is a superpower that we all have, right?
100%.
And we got to tap into that sometimes. And I have social anxiety. I've been diagnosed with social anxiety, and I fight that every time I get on stage and talk to someone.
Right. I have the same thing. I mean, I get anxiety all the time. I have anxiety disorder.
Yep.
So, what do you do if you have social anxiety? What have you been sort of the exercises that you do to kind of get through that? I mean, do you take medication?
I don't know.
So you get through it all naturally.
Well, I was on medication, and I've been on antidepressants, and they've made me more suicidal.
Really?
And so I've kind of switched over to this holistic. About 18 months ago, got into the holistic side of things. So I do a lot of meditation.
Me
I do
too.
a ton of meditation.
You see the mats behind you?
Oh
there?
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Like, and I would 5 years ago, if you said like, Paulie, you'll be meditating, I would have like been like, you're higher than me.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
There is no way.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I color. I'm like, I love those
The
adult
color
love them.
books?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't have normal Berenstain Bears coloring books. Like, they're all like, fuck shit, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I love that stuff. And in my sobriety, I've got into playing a lot of music. I started playing guitar, and
Very cool.
like a wild thing. I didn't know who Sarah Smith was when I got sober, and so we wrote a song together, like in my sobriety, called Angels and Anchors, and
I saw that.
It's
That's
got
awesome.
like 15,000 views on a music video that we're in, and
Very
she
cool.
put it on her album, and I think like,
That's very cool.
no way, like this is all from getting sober, right? And
Yeah.
it's all from just, being me. And I think that's what's made me as successful as I am, is I'm always just me, and I don't sugarcoat shit. And,
Yeah.
like I said, there's two things I won't talk about. I won't talk about what happened in that apartment, and I won't ever say this guy's name, and that's pretty well. Other than that, like, I am an open book.
Sure.
You can ask me anything, and
Yeah.
I mean, even after this, like, I'll get vulnerable, but I know I'm in a safe spot. Like,
You are.
I'm in a safe environment.
Safe container, we call it. in
Yeah,
here.
it's like it's like from the old school, from like, we're in the trust tree.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
in the
I
tree.
thought we were in the tree.
We're in the
Yeah.
tree, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what you need.
Yeah.
To share your story. It's just a safe environment, and
Sure.
people that are willing to listen. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I found is when I speak, people are willing to listen to my story, and they're willing to listen to my truth. And
Yeah.
I'll keep talking. Like,
Yeah. Well, you've had some interesting people come into your life. I mean, Theo Fleury and Michael Landsberg,
Michael
Landsberg, right?
Yeah.
And Landsberg. I keep mixing up with Landsberg, but Landsberg. So are you a member of Sick Not Weak? He's doing a movement for mental health as well, right?
So I've been a community partner with them. So I've written a blog with them, and I've spoken at an event with them, and they're really cool. Like, they're such a cool organization. And,
Yeah.
my friend Colleen Rennie works with them too, and it's such a cool thing that he does, and he's so humble with it. Like, he's so humble with it, but
Yep.
he's so real with, like, he wants to make sure that people that are living with this stuff know that they're sick and that they're not weak.
Right.
And so I have a strong feeling that it's gonna peak really soon, because they have so many cool people that are on board with them.
Right. Sure.
And anytime that Michael reaches out to me, or Colleen reaches out to me, or anyone from Sick Not Weak, like, I'm always for helping them out.
100%.
I think that there's such a cool, because they highlight a lot of, and it's not even famous people, it's real stories.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we
Yep.
see these people on Sports Center or playing in the NHL, and we never think that they're going to struggle with anything. And
Right.
we see that, and we say, like, they're real people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all right. And just recently in November, I got to meet Claire Hughes, and like, we got to spend an afternoon painting, like, doing a little bit of art therapy, and like, that was so empowering. And she's such a huge support of 105. And
Very cool.
like, I thought, like, you're my, she's one of my heroes, right? And she's,
Yeah.
she wanted to know everything about my life and like how she can help, and she still emails me, and I'm like, wow,
Awesome.
it's such a cool life I'm living now.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
Yeah,
And it's all
it's,
from
this-
just making right choices.
Yeah. I mean, the sweet just isn't as sweet without the sour, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
So
it.
it's nice that you have this appreciation. I'm really happy with what you're doing with 1 and 5. I hope that it continues to grow.
I hope so too.
Yeah, and I think that it's really nice to see that people that are sort of celebrities are reaching out to people just as people. And that's kind of what this is for, and it's to encourage everyone. Like, everyone has a story, like you're saying, and just, if you feel comfortable, come on, share. You never know who you're going to inspire. So, and we have a really cool guest coming on Wednesday.
Cool.
Which I think is part of 1 and 5, Nicole Stevenson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't even know that. It's just the co-founder of Final Rose Entertainment, Matt, knows her, and he's like, yeah, she wants to come in and tell her story. And then I was like, you guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah, cool.
So I have you both this week, which is really cool.
Yeah, she's working with 1 and 5.
Yeah.
She's a great help for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and that just kind of worked out this week. I'm like, wow, they're both coming in the same week.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, I mean, what would be, like, any final words moving forward? First of all, actually, before we go into that, it's sex and suicide, right? So you've obviously been sexually assaulted. How do you overcome, like, for anyone that's been through what you've been through, how do you overcome that to become sort of sexually active again? Is that a big hurdle for you?
That's a massive hurdle for me. Like, I think, obviously, I know that I had sex because Amber got pregnant with Nathan.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But it was incredibly hard to be naked in front of anyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that took a long time. I'm not even sure how that how it all started again. But I know I didn't have a lot of sex.
Yeah.
And that was a tough thing because I didn't, even the woman that I trusted, I didn't want her to see me naked because I thought that there was dirt all over me and filth, and
Sure.
I didn't want her to feel like shit. But I've come to a side now that I'm, I used to think like, what did this guy think? Did he think I'm gay? I'm not gay. I have nothing against, homosexuality, but I'm a heterosexual. And
yeah.
I try to make sure that I know that, or I believe that. Do you know what I mean? And, it's tough.
It is tough.
Sexuality is a tough thing when you've gone through this stuff, and I think I've come a long way.
Good for you
with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, are you single right now? Are you dating, or are you trying it out? Like, I mean, it's a bright future for you, right?
Yeah, it is.
So,
it is. Yeah, I am seeing someone right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going really well.
And you're just kind of taking it slow, day by day.
Yeah. She's really supportive of me, and
good.
She knows my whole story. She just saw me speak for the first time. And
awesome, man.
I think she's probably tuned in tonight, which is really cool.
Good. Well, very cool.
Yeah.
As long as you're open and honest, and I think, as we talked about before, the key to really getting through these struggles is probably just to be honest, be transparent, and just be you.
Yeah, and that's all I am. I'm just me, and I'm me when I'm here, and I'm me when I'm on the city bus, and I'm me when I'm talking, when I'm speaking in front of. It doesn't matter if it's 5 people or 5,000 people. I'm just going to be me. And
right.
Even when I have conversations with my girl, it's just me, right? And she supports that. And
awesome.
What a beautiful thing,
100%.
It's a pretty cool
thing. Is she sober too? Like, did you meet her through sobriety? No,
like not in recovery. We just kind of met through mutual friends, I think.
Yeah.
And she's just a real sweetheart. She's not in recovery, but she really respects it
and understands it. Yeah.
She definitely does.
Cool.
That's all I need. She supports me wholeheartedly.
Dude, I'm super happy for you because everything's like, you've gone through the fucking the ringer, right?
I have,
everything seems to be coming together, and I think the future's really bright for you, your organization, and the woman that you're with.
Yeah,
so,
I appreciate that.
Man.
I've had a great time tonight. This is really cool.
Hey, dude, an hour just flew by.
That's nuts.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That's nuts.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
I did one on the Anonymity podcast with Ty Bollinger.
Yep.
And that's a recovery-based podcast. And we went on for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
and he's like, holy shit, we got to go. Like, I got to cut this off. I'm like, okay, time to go.
It's amazing how long you can go on for,
it's
right?
nuts, yeah.
But the thing is, we'll bring you back, man. If you've got more to share, if there's something that you're like, hey, Sean, I got something I want to share with you guys, by all means.
Awesome.
Right?
I would love that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any last words that you want to give a shout-out to anyone, or anything you want for anyone else out there that might be living in a car right now? I mean, the chances are they might not be watching this.
Might not be,
but
I think that all I can say, and like I've been asked, it's a great question because I get asked this a lot, and I think if I can say anything to people that are struggling is that you're valued and you're desired and you're loved, whether you think that or not. And that's all I ever wanted to hear from people, and I didn't hear that. And so if I can send that message to anyone that's struggling who doesn't think they're valuable or desired or believed, like I didn't think I was believed. And I want to tell anyone that you're believed, like I believe you. Yeah. And I think that's a pretty simple way to do it, is like you're loved, you're valued, you're desired, you're believed.
Well, I think those are great words, and I think so as well. I mean, there's a reason for everyone to be here.
Yeah.
So, Paulie obviously tried the suicide attempts, and look at him now. So anyone that's watching that's contemplating that or in a dark place, hopefully you can see that there's good that comes out of this. So tough it out. We need you here, right?
We need you. Yeah, we need you.
All right, man. Well, I want to thank you again for coming. We'll end the podcast here tonight, guys. So hopefully tune back in Wednesday. We're going to have one of Paulie's... Can I call her a colleague? She's called a colleague. Yeah. Nicole will be with us. And, we'll see you guys Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome.